Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the One Team Active Cook Along. This is our second cook in this program. And tonight we're going to do two dishes. So one of them is called Shakshuka, which is a North African dish. And I'm cooking this tonight because I think it's really versatile, particularly when you're a shift worker. You can adapt it for breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, during a night shift. It's quite light, so it's quite easy to digest if you're on a night shift. It's a plant-based, so vegetarian dish. It incorporates a few different spices and flavors. So if they're new to you, then it's a chance for you to have a little experiment with some different spices and herbs, because they are so great, powerful health properties in them. So getting used to adding herbs and spices into really beneficial. And it's also got eggs in as the main source of protein in here, which again is a great way to start the day with eggs. So I cooked this once for friends that came over for brunch, just for a little bit different, and they just loved the vibrant colours from it and the really lovely flavours from like but still had eggs in there and some lovely flatbreads or some wraps for dipping in it or for serving. Got the option there. So we had that for brunch, and they were just, they said we were little converts to not having bacon and eggs and that instead. So then whilst this is kind of cooking down a little bit, whilst the juice tomatoes are just reducing a little bit, it's going to give us a chance to have a few minutes to just throw everything into making these little energy balls. And these are a really lovely little boost of energy, a nice healthy snack option to take with you if you need something between meals. Usually just one of these suffice as a little nutrient dense snack. So when I say nutrient dense, that means it really packs a little punch of nutrients. So it's full of fibre and protein, fats, all the things that are really good for us but fill us up as well. So you don't really need very much, unless you've done a big workout and you just need something to get you going again, then you may just need a couple. But on the recipe there's a load of different flavour options that save you getting bored. Favourite flavours. Try and experiment with those. So I will lower a bit, and we're going to start off with getting our onions cooking and peppers together. And get those saute off. Let's get chopping our onion. So today is day one. Nutrition Foundation, British Nutrition Foundation week. Get people aware of the benefits of each day has a slightly different. So today's has been fibre, trying to get additional fibre into our diets. I mentioned before in our webinar that we'd be aiming to get about 30 grams fibre in our diets per day. That's only just over an ounce, so it's not. But the average adult in the UK, about 18 grams, so only just over half that. And when you understand the benefit of fibre to the diet, then you can start to understand why it's really important to do it regularly. So getting fibre in, that fibre I mean like whole grains. So sorry. Waiting, let me type them in. Go. Yes, I'm talking about your whole grains and so your brown and wholemeal rice and bread and pastas, grain wraps, and your fibrous vegetables. So having fruit and veg, fruit still with the skins on, we've got the lovely fibre in the skins, and lots of vegetables that are really high in fibre. So like mushrooms, really good. Lots of powerful foods. Fairly low just to start the onions. Sauteing whilst I chop the peppers. Start to soften out. Spoon number 5. There with some lovely. Onions in. Chop a red pepper and a green pepper. Well, yeah, so fibre. So the benefits of fibre, and we do only get it from plant-based sources, is that it keeps you fuller for longer than the sort of simple carbohydrate foods that are taught. So rather than having all the fibre stripped away to make a simple carb, like white bread and white pasta, the X carb version is the like it's everything processed and stripped away processing, and it can really help with so that keeps us a lot fuller for longer, so we don't get those sugar spikes on it afterwards. That's one of the main benefits of fibre, but also it can really help to regulate gut health. So it can help to stop us from being irritated, can help us make sure that we eliminate regularly, and that can really help with reducing sort of toxins in the body. We get any toxins out of the body. We don't want everything sort of like being sluggish. That can cause problems. The other great benefit with fibre is to do with heart health. So it can really help to moderate our cholesterol level, and because it binds to excess cholesterol, and again eliminate that from the body. Some of the certain types of fibre good at helping manage cholesterol. Really, really good for our heart health. Okay, so we've got our red pepper in there. Yeah, so that's why the focus today has been on fibre. So thinking about how we can get extra portions of fibre into our diet each day, just think about, with breakfast, can you have a portion of fruit or some kind of smoothie for breakfast that's going to give you some fibre? Can you switch to your whole grain breads and toasts and things like that for breakfast as well? And then going into lunchtime, can you have a fruit after your lunch? You wraps or different whole grains in, different sachets of grains, lunches. Then again in the evening, adding in some portions of vegetables. So if you're cooking up like a simple chicken curry or something, what vegetables can you add into there as well? Could you add in a tin of beans or chickpeas? Could you add a potato? Really good sources of chopped bits of spinach, something like that. So looking at each meal, add in different. Also benefit you hugely with increasing your veg intake, which is the thing about getting your minimum of your fibre a day. So look out for LinkedIn and social media posts to getting your fibre a day each day, and why that is so beneficial. Okay, I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit so it's not doing. Start frying off the peppers and onion. Whilst that's now cooking, hopefully hear that sizzling in a sec. I'm going to start chopping my garlic, and then we'll measure out our spices to add there as well. Got 2 cloves of garlic. In the One Team Active Facebook group, there's also been really lovely recipe suggestions that have been made over the last couple of weeks. So it'd be great to hear if anybody else has tried those. Success in trying something new. It's really easy just getting a bit of a meal, isn't it? And just to be the same thing after week. So hopefully, really lovely ideas to give you some inspiration. Trying new things. Clear this out of the way. The other great thing about about getting lots of plant-based foods and with the fibre and the vitamins and minerals and so on into your diet as well, is that balancing that with a good source of protein. I've got the egg with the eggs here. So regulating our energy, we're not going to be getting those spikes and those flashes of energy, where we then end up with really strong cravings, all the wrong kinds of foods. And when we get into that kind of circle, that vicious circle, don't we? And when you're having those spikes, they can feel great, but they're very short-lived. And then, you know, you have those afternoon slumps where you just want to go and have a lie down and talk to focus and have the energy to do anything. So trying to avoid that by getting protein and the complex carbs and the healthy fats into all your meals and balancing those plates should also really impact your energy and help you to find your mojo for going out and getting active and to do something energetic without it feeling like a huge battle, because you're fighting against low energy and low moods, knock-on effect of less healthy food options. Right. Just going to let that cook for another minute or so. I'm going to add in the garlic. Potatoes. Okay, going with the garlic. Just a little stir. And then we're going to get our slices ready. It's going to all start smelling delicious once we get those slices in. I've got my little measuring teaspoons and half teaspoons and quarter teaspoons. So we are going to go for a full teaspoon of the cumin, full teaspoon of the paprika, and then half a teaspoon of the other curry spices. So our cumin, our smoked paprika, and our cayenne pepper, but that's going to give it quite a punch. So if you only want to listen like a little bit of mild spice, maybe just go for a quarter of a teaspoon for now. You can always add more later, but you can't really take it out easily. So go for less first if you're unsure. So we've got half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, then however much you want the cayenne, spicy cayenne pepper. And get that lovely stir. Then we're going to add our tins of tomatoes. Depending on how many you're cooking for today, you can, so this will serve enough for 3 to 4 adults, depending on what meal you're having. If it is for breakfast, you may not want quite as much as if it's a main meal. It's up to you and your portion sizes and what time of day you're eating. This will serve 3 to 4 adults. If you wanted to make enough to save some to take to work with you, then you would just get as far as everything apart from cooking eggs. Just leave that, so you could just take this in a tub to heat up at work, and then you can just cook your eggs really quickly. You can have a chance to, if you've got the facilities, maybe not, at work, to add an egg. But if not, then again, it's, you know, you could use this just to have in a wrap, and you could add some, you could cook an egg and take it like a hard-boiled egg and just have that cold with it. Or you could take some other protein source to put in there with it. You could put in some beans, all different kinds of beans, chickpeas. You could take a little bit of chicken. So you could, you know, you could easily double up on this part to batch cook for a not, you know, for in a couple of days' time or whatever. Okay, so tomatoes, tins of chopped tomatoes. A little bit of water. This just stops it all sticking a little bit whilst it all just will reduce down then. Turn it down. I'm just going to start spitting it. Leave that to reduce down a little bit. Give it a little stir from time to time so it doesn't stick. I'm actually going to add a little bit of seasoning. I do like salt on my food, but it is a nice quality rock salt rather than a table salt, so it has got lots of rock salt minerals. Have a bit of that. Salt. You go with your own health and bit of advice potentially if we do need to be reducing your salt intake, then maybe skip this stage, but salt and pepper, some flavour. I'm not going to add the spinach or the kale just yet because that just that cooks down so quickly, it'll just disintegrate to nothing if we put it in now. So we're just going to leave that to do its thing. Then we're going to come our energy balls. So these are super easy to make, and it's really handy, you know, whilst I'm here in the kitchen and I've got a little bit of time now whilst I'm watching this, I can just really quickly whiz up these energy balls. So I've got my oats here, got my bag of jumbo oats. So these are the unmilled oats, so they've still got their full fibre on them, so they're going to be nice and filling. They're a nice complex carb and a really good source of protein too. So I need 1.5 cups of these. So this is my cup size. So this is 1 cup going in here. And 1/4. I think, isn't it? 1.25 cups. That's my little quarter-size cup. As I said in the last one, you can buy these little stacking cup sizes just on Amazon. I'm allowed to say that. And it just saves any amount of weighing. So I'm becoming quite a convert to recipes that have cup sizes in now, whereas I used to avoid those because I didn't really know how much cup was. But these little stacking cups have made that really simple. Then we're going to go and add our power mix in. So these are our little seeds. These are linseeds, which are also known as flax seeds. And these are a great source of healthy fat and fibre and protein. So really great, powerful little things. That's what I talk about when I say something's nutrient dense. You get a lot in a little seed. So we got 2 tablespoons, a tablespoon size there. 2 of those. And then some peanut butter I've got here. It says nut butter, so you could go for almond or cashew. And we want 1/2 cup. Okay. Now I need a spoon. Put that into my 1/2 cup. Size here. So it's nice smooth peanut butter. In 1/2 cup. Out. 2 to 3 tablespoons. Be easier to measure out just one of them. This is a dessert spoon, sorry, not a tablespoon. Dessert spoons. Leave out my 1/2. That's all in there. Right, and then we have, give this a quick little stir, see how it's going. Juice is reducing down quite nicely. I want to just check the spice and the flavour that's gone in there. Just have a little taste now whilst it's all together. Nice amount of spice in there. You might decide now that you might want a little bit extra, depending on your audience. Like I said, it's really difficult to take it out, so start small and then move on up if you need to. Okay, so there we've got our seeds, our oats, peanut butter. Then we've got our sticky liquid, so maple syrup or honey. And we want 1/3 of a cup of that. 1/3 of a cup. So I have got some nice maple syrup here, but honey equally delicious in these. Get some nice stickiness. Maple syrup is a bit on the pricey side, but so I'm just doing this as a little bit of a treat today. But yeah, honey equally fine. Okay, and then we want a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Teaspoon. A little bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of rock salt. I'm just gonna put a bit in there. Okay, and then we've got our 1/4 cup of mix-ins. So we've got the mix-in options here. I've decided I'm going to go in with some lovely little dried cranberries for a nice bit of juiciness in there. So I'm going to do a 1/4 of a cup of these dried cranberries. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of desiccated coconut because I think it's a really nice, yummy combination. So in 1/2 cup of dried coconut too. Okay, that's everything. So let's just give this a really good stir to combine it. Take a good little bit of mixing so that we don't have too many lumps of the peanut butter left in there. So just get it all mixed in. Combined. Peanut butter or nut butter, cashew or almond, they're great to add to smoothies as well. So you get a source of protein in with your smoothie. So it's not just completely like just too much fruit in a smoothie that again is going to spike the blood sugar. So always trying to balance that out with the other nutrients. So with some protein or some healthy fats. Healthy fats might be using coconut milk rather than just regular dairy milk. As a healthy fat to put in a smoothie too, if you like a coconutty flavoured one. Okay, so we've got about that much, and it's a little bit like cookie dough. So, you know, if you've got lots of hungry mouths, you might want to double up on the recipe for this, or again, it will store for ages in the fridge. So you want to make a couple of batches, a set of nights or something to keep you going during the night for a little energy boost during the night. You know, to save reliance perhaps on energy drinks or on less healthy snacks, like crisps and chocolate, biscuits. Then yeah, give these a try. So great for when, you know, if you've got young family members, when they come in from school, these can be great little nutritious snacks to have after school as well, when they're absolutely starving, need something desperately. Okay, let's give this another stir. So with these now, we need to refrigerate this for 30 minutes. Okay, and then once we're done, all we're going to do is take them out, use a dessert spoon, you're going to form a ball So with nice clean hands, we're just going to roll that into a little ball, pop it on a plate, and you can then just keep those in the fridge as they are if you want to, as just little energy balls. I'm actually going to cover mine in some really lovely some lovely quality dark chocolate. So I'm going to, once they've been refrigerated, I'll make them all into balls. I'm going to melt some dark chocolate down. So really good quality dark chocolate starts at around 70% cocoa, and it's really low in sugar. You get some really powerful plant chemicals from the cocoa beans, so it can be really quite a nutritious alternative to having milk chocolate that is much higher in saturated fat and in sort of the processing and in sugars as well. So I'm just going to, once we're done, I just think that dark chocolate and cranberries are just coconut, beautiful combination. So that's what I'm going to do with those, and that'll be a little nice treat for when my teenagers come home from school tomorrow. Okay, so that's our energy balls, and that didn't take much effort at all doing that whilst this was just cooking down at all, did it? So really easily done. Okay, I think these are good now. So what we're going to do with these, I have got some wholemeal tortilla wraps here, and I'm rather than having flatbreads, which you can kind of scoop this up with to eat, I'm actually going to line these pasta bowls with a wrap for each person. I would warm these up in the microwave just for a minute, just to make them nice and warm. I'd line each pasta bowl with a tortilla, and then I would ladle some of this onto it once we've cooked the eggs. So if you're ready to go and actually do yours now to go and eat, what you're going to do is we're not quite ready to have ours, so I will be doing this off camera, but you will just crack an egg and you will make a little well in here. I'm going to break the egg into the little well. Do that 3 or 4 times, depending on how many portions this is for. Okay, so there'll be a little egg cooking away, sort of poaching away in here. Whilst that's cooking, I'm going to put a lid over it so that it kind of steams the top of the egg, so it's not too runny. Then whilst that's happening, I'm going to chop some fresh coriander. And as soon as the eggs are cooked, I'm just going to sprinkle this. We haven't added our spinach. Right. I just saw something green and thought there's something missing. Okay. So that'll be the last stage. Before we do that, we just need to get our spinach in here. So here's 2 handfuls of spinach that I've given a wash. Quite often it can get a little bit gritty. That's washed spinach. This is going to take a minute at the most to cook down. So we're almost there. On the recipe, you can use kale as well. So you can get either just like whole kale leaves where you'd want to cut out the really tough stalk down the middle, or you can just buy bags of kale and you might want to remove any really tough stalks that are in that bag. And again, just give it a really good wash. So just going to roughly chop the spinach. Like I said, it cooks down really quickly. Add all of that in. Stir it in to cook it down. Then we'll do the eggs. And as it says at the bottom of the recipe, if you want to make it look even more delicious, if you're serving it up for friends or guests coming over or something like that, as you dish it up, you put your fresh coriander on the top. You could also just sprinkle a little bit of feta cheese on there if you want to. When you put it into the top of your tortilla in the pasta bowl, you could put a dollop of natural yogurt as well. And that would be, if you did have serve it with flatbreads, people could get a nice dip of the egg with the yolk still runny, bit of the yogurt, and that lovely spicy sauce that is just so beautifully coloured, bright, really, really good for you. And yeah, they find it delicious. So that's all ready to just add the eggs before we're about to sit down to eat. So that's it. Really simple. Enjoy. If you're thinking of counting up either the number of plant foods you're eating each week, where we're trying to aim for 30 different plant foods a week, there's a lot here. It includes herbs and spices. We've got some dried cranberries and the coconut and the oats in the little balls there. So And also, you know, if you're just thinking of your trying to get your minimum of 5 a day, again, we've got some great portions going on here. So bon appetit, everybody. Enjoy. Hope it's been interesting. And yeah, I'd love it if you would just try this and share in the Facebook group how it's gone. It would be really, really delightful to read. Okay, so take care, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm just going to stop recording and leave you all to your evenings.